Hello there, welcome to 2023's Christmas video, the big ranking. Merry Christmas. Apologies, I won't do that again. This is the second year of this now. Unlike this year, it's not 2 in the morning, so I don't sound too dead inside. And I don't have a cold, so you'll be able to hear me a little bit more than normal. Last year, I only had 42 coasters to rank. And this year, I've gone and cursed myself for going on 10 more. So here we go, this will be fun. Also, I will admit, I wrote out a whole script for this, so I thought it would be a good idea to stop me, falling over my words and saying every 3 sentences. But every time, this is my 15th time now, and every time it's just sounded a bit off and a bit wrong. So you have to just get used to me doing some insane, crazed ramblings. But that's just what my videos are at this point, I'm just going to accept it. Anyway, I won't waste any more of your time, because in last place it's Duplo Dino Coaster still. It's just an oval, it's got no drop, it's pointless. And then in 51st place is the Wacky Worm at Twin Lakes, then the Wacky Worm at Skegness, then the Wacky Worm at Great Yarmouth, then the Wacky Worm at Gulliver's Valley, then the Wacky Worm at Gulliver's World. Believe it or not, these are all still Wacky Worms, but the Gulliver's ones are quite well themed. And then in 46 is Whirlwind, swiftly followed by Rum Runner. They're both just your normal spinning thingies, but I like Rum Runner's scene more. And then in 44th is the Antelope, probably the roughest coaster I've ever been on. It goes very slow. Next up is Queen Bee. We like a good bit of Queen Bee. And then next we have Beastie, which is apparently still going in Wales. I think I knew this, but I just kind of forgot it. But I'm going to have to get back out there to get back on it someday. I'll be able to go back on Beastie. Whoa! In 41st is Mighty Mini Mega, which apparently that's what it's called. I thought it was Mini Mighty Mega this whole time. I wasn't calling it that for a joke. I thought I got it the wrong way. No! Just making the top 40 is Flying Fish. I haven't been on it in ages, so I don't know what to say, but I just... Every time I think of it, I just think of the beautiful puddle it resides in. 39th is Scorpion Express. Will it be back next year? I hope so. At 38 is Grand Prix Races at Gulliver's. And despite the fact that I'm not, I always feel like I'm pronouncing its name wrong. Or am I? And then at 37th, sorry, there's an ambulance outside. It's making a right old racket. Hold on. 37th is Tyrolean Tub Twist. That's of its kind. I'd love to see Virginia Reels come back. If only a certain place would rebuild there. Blackpool Pleasure Beach. And at 36 is Octonauts. It's one of the coasters of all time. At 35th is Family Star, which will now have to go down in history as the first coaster ever filmed a POV on. Why can't it have been Roller Coaster? And then there's Spook Express. It's okay. And then there's Dragon's Apprentice. I always forget it exists when I go there, so I never go on it. 31st is Buffalo Stampede at Twin Lakes. It's alright, but even more alright is Green Scream at 30th, closely followed by the Dragon, which is a good coaster with a nice dark ride bit. 28th is the Runaway Mine Train. Choo choo. Next up is Nickelodeon Streak. It's alright and very orange. At 26 is Rattlesnake. Last year I said it was underrated. What was I on about? It hurts. Remove it. Speaking of removals, Vampire. Maybe don't remove it. But I wouldn't be concerned. I wouldn't be complaining if it was replaced by a Vekoma Family Suspended Coaster. It's just an idea. 23rd is Spinball Whizzer. It's still jolty, but it's still alright. And where are we? We're 22nd is Grand National. It was actually kind of smooth. You all lied to me, or I didn't get a wheel seat. One of the two. And then just missing the top 20 is Accelerator. I don't remember it that well, but I think it was quite good. And then next up is Roller Coaster at Great Yarmouth. Some people would say it's too high, but all I have to say is go on it on the back row and you'll be changed. Your mind will be altered to put it this high. It's the only ride that I can say has stand-up airtime and mean it. I'm surprised I'm not in the ocean right now. And 19th is Infusion, our first inverting coaster on the list. It's really not that bad. Speaking of not that bad, it's Colossus. Although the trains are horrific. You have negative legroom, and I'm a particularly tall person. So I've become an escape artist to leave that train. I have to crouch down while also not sitting down, but sitting down. And then I have to crab walk out of the thing. It is right all pain. 17th goes to Galactica. It breaks down every 5 minutes and it could do with a jet wash, which I think it's getting, but it's alright. And then we have Revolution. I think when I first went on it, I put it at 10th or 11th and it's just kept falling down my top, my ranking. I feel quite bad for it, but it's short, quite intense, and surprisingly good. 15th is Dragon's Fury. It has probably the best helix in the whole UK. That thing is you just keep going. It's amazing. At 14 is Rage, another ride I've just kind of completely forgotten, but it's short, but I'm pretty sure it's quite good. And at 13th, prepare yourself, because I have done the big funny here and put 13 down. I didn't intend to, it's kind of wound up there. It's really grown on me this year. It's quite good. It's a fun ride. And then in 12, we have 13's neighbour, Rita. It's got a good launch, got quite good airtime, and that's about it. And then just missing out on the top 10 is Shockwave. Why are they getting rid of stand-up? There's This is the whole point of the ride. No. And here we are, the top 10 already. What's a bit? Okay, it's been 5.5 minutes. We need to get hurry on. Come on, fast up. At 10th is Soar the Ride. A good ride, but it's tainted by an awful queue. But luckily, a beautiful gift from the gods came to us this year in the form of single rider. Walk-ons every time. So if your group doesn't mind being split up, I strongly recommend it. 9th is the big one. I spent half my day worrying I wasn't going to get on it, but then the winds calmed down and they did twice. I won't lie, it's rough. Very rough. But that first drop is incredible. And just the sense of speed and just the out-of-control feeling you get on this is almost worth your back being split in half. Speaking of drops, we have Oblivion, the greatest one-trick pony the UK will ever see. The drop's great, but then the brake run's even greater, which is why I love spending 5 minutes on it every time. Coming in at 7th is Wickerman. I wish I could put it higher, but unfortunately just above it is Nemesis, which obviously I didn't get to ride this year, so I don't have much to say about it. Although you never know, this could be its last year of losing to Nemesis Inferno, which is in, where are we, 5th. It is just the original, but a bit longer, which is quite nice. And then in 4th is Stealth on the front and only the front. Looking down that launch track, seeing it wiggle in the heat is almost enough to get it top 10 already. But then just the wind in your face, you fly up the top hat, you're very intense at the bottom there. You fly over the top, you get flung over, you get a greater view of the park for now. You drop down, you whee. You go over that airtime hill and straight into a swarm of flies every time. Why do they hang out there? What's the point? And then in top 3 is the Swarm. A great ride. Almost the perfect ride. I think it's the perfect length. Everyone always says it's too short, but it's not too long that gets slow and boring. It's not too short that doesn't get the chance to do anything interesting. And if you haven't already, listen to the ride's theme. It's literally just called the Swarm. You can't miss it. It's right all time. Now, people who have seen my previous rankings, you may notice something. Before, my number 1 was a tie between 2 coasters, and that is no longer the case, because in 2nd place is the Smiler. The ride's amazing, obviously. I mean, it's long, what else is it? It's just a non-stop barrage of inversions. What more can you ask for? There's some good airtime in there too. However, there is one slight problem with it that's just holding it back from number 1. It's starting to get a bit rough. I mean, this was the first year I properly noticed it, but there's a bit of a rattle throughout the entire ride. You get shaken about a bit. And of course, those last 3 inversions, they were rough from the start. I don't know who designed those, but why was it only those 3? Did they just kind of give up at the end and say, just do that and then 2 Heartline rolls in a row, but make them shuffly? Please, Towers, do something about it before it gets as bad as Thor. Or don't, do what you normally do and let it decay. Which of course means number 1 is Icon. What a ride! It exceeded every expectation I had going into it, and then some. It's amazing. It's surprisingly fast. You wouldn't think looking at it, but it is very fast. It's got great airtime throughout. Speaking of, that first hill, it's like top hat thing, whatever it is. You just get flung out of your seat into the supports of the big one. It is remarkable. Another few highlights had to be that S-Pen down by Steeplechase, very fun. And the giant Junior Immelman. I don't think I've ever properly got sideways hang time before that, but what a time to be alive. And also, not to mention, it was my first coaster to invert with just a lap bar. And honestly, I'm quite surprised the inversions took a bit of a backseat to the rest of the ride. I thought they would be the highlight, but no. If anything, they were some of the weaker parts of the ride. And this just gets me even more excited for Hyperion, which I'm predicting now will be my number 1 next year. Just those elements with Icon trains sounds remarkable. Anyway, that's the end. Merry Christmas. See you in 2024. Bye.